So we're now headed to the Fisherman's Wharf and Pier 39. These are again a couple of must-visit places in San Francisco. Just attracting a lot of tourists and visitors. Just a very busy place and has a lot of eating places, especially seafood. It's famous for stores selling crabs and clam chowder. And then Pier 39 is also offer some of the best views of the bay. And also the bars weren't very crowded today because it's the weekend and it's actually the holiday weekend. But definitely a lot of crowd over here. And we just stopped to see this. There's a big chimpanzee carrying the kids over there, um, which was pretty amusing. And we also have our Alcatraz tour reservation for today at 1:30 p.m. So we are headed there. We will be boarding our ferry from Pier 39, and that's where our check-in point is. So if you like seafood, this is the square or this is the place to be. You'll see a lot of restaurants and you get great seafood here.
Let's take you guys on some street food for seafood now. So here are all these different kind of stores. Do you want to have any seafood? Shrimp, battered shrimp,
But we have
scallops,
just had
fish and chips.
huge Sunday. So not right
This is the best place to have some seafood if you want to come over to Fisherman's Wharf. And there are a lot of options and at good rates.
So this is Pier 39. This is where we will board our ship to go to Alcatraz. Again, that square over there has a lot of souvenir shops, stores. If anyone is driving, then there's actually a parking garage right here. It's a little expensive daily parking, but you can park here and then walk around because most of the things are pretty close to each other if you're used to walking. Lots of crowd, lots of tourists. There are some cable cars available here too, something like rickshaws, which can take you like to Gridley Square from here and some nearby locations. But yeah, this is the entire Pier 39. Again, lots of stores, lots of shops, Hard Rock Cafe is right here. And there are also ships going from Pier 39 and Fisherman's Wharf to Alcatraz. You just have to book those tickets in advance. And here we are at the Alcatraz landing check-in window. We just finished our check-in and now we're headed to board our ferry in just a few minutes. We're super excited for this tour. We've been waiting to do the Alcatraz tour for quite a while now. So finally that it's happening, we're super excited. So we're boarding now and we want to go to the top level of the ferry, which is the deck, so that we're able to capture the Alcatraz when we're approaching it.
Parking, eating, and drinking are allowed only at the dock. Bottled water is allowed on the rest of the island and is available for purchase on the boat.
Here's a view of the San Francisco city, the Golden Gate over there, and then the Alcatraz Island. And we booked this tour through Viator.com, and we paid about $80 to $85 per person. It takes us directly to Alcatraz Island, and we board the ferry from Pier 33. We also have a guided tour, so we will see our guide at the on the island, and she will guide us with all the information.
So guys, we are actually heading now to the Alcatraz Island. You can see the Alcatraz Island from here. It is one of the most well-known, and at one point in time it was considered to be one of the most strict prison systems. A lot of very famous and dangerous criminals were actually lodged in this very jail. And if you guys have come across any documentary movies or Hollywood films that have been pictured on Alcatraz, one of the most famous examples that comes in my mind is Escape from Alcatraz, which was released around 1979, 1980, if I'm not wrong. And that actually is a great movie if you guys haven't seen it. But that's where we are heading now to check Alcatraz. How is it from inside?
As well as where to pick up your audio tour, a couple of great outdoor areas you'll be able to check out today, and how to get back to San Francisco. So stick with me for just a moment. Looks like the last few folks are coming off the boat. Once that's the case, we're going to go ahead and get started with that orientation. All right, so welcome to Alcatraz Island. You are in a kind of unique national park. We're part of Golden Gate National Recreation Area here. That means we've got just a couple of rules and some great things for you to explore today. So real quick, 3 rules. First thing has to do with eating, drinking, smoking. No eating, drinking, or smoking allowed anywhere on Alcatraz except one spot. It's going to be the designated area over on the left side of the dock. Second rule has to do with your stuff. So your stuff's going to stay with you at all times. That means backpacks, bags, strollers, keep those things with you. And then anything that you find on the island is going to stay on the island so that we can protect that, preserve it for future visitors. All right, last rule is really important, has to do with safety. So you're going to be treading over a lot of uneven walking surfaces, weird historic staircases, kind of busted up concrete pavement, and everything's slippery because it keeps raining. So watch your step, take your time, look out for those metal plates in the road, and come find a staff member if you need any assistance. Again, we do have a mobility tram for anybody who needs help getting up to the top of the hill. All right, gonna move on to what's going on today. So a couple of things to point out here. If you look to the right, we have, this is our main road that takes you everywhere you need to go on the island. There is a small metal staircase on the left side that takes you inside Building 64 behind me here. Inside Building 64 is old military structures as well as our theater. So if you'd like to check out 15-minute film about the history of this island, it's going to start shortly just inside the theater here. We've also got a small exhibit on the 1969 American Indian occupation in this area as well. All right, if you keep heading up the hill, you're going to follow red signs on the signposts to get up to the main prison entrance. At the main entrance to the prison, so the cell house on Alcatraz is up at the top of the island. At the main entrance to the prison, a staff member will hand you your audio guide. So to pick up that audio guide, that audio headset equipment, you need to first go up to the top of the hill, enter the prison, and somebody will hand it to you there. From there, that audio tour will guide you around the inside of the main cell block. All right, when you're done with that, we've got some beautiful outdoor areas to explore as well. The Agave Trail is over here. You can connect to it from a few different ways, so you can make a big loop of the island if you'd like to take the scenic route one way and the main road the other way. You can check out the west side of the island as well. We've got a map behind me here, as well as some maps and guides available over here if you'd like to take a closer look at your options. Boats leave about every half hour. Last one's at 4:30. We'll make sure you're on that. We're good to go. If folks have any questions, please come find me. Otherwise, thanks for sticking around and enjoy your day.
So we're going for an audio tour first, and then probably we'll visit the other buildings. This is the way. It's all of these, it's basically like climbing a hill, so it's all pretty steep. So this family housing was actually home for many of the guards and officers working on the island along with their families. There were about 300 civilians living in these quarters, including 60 to 80 children. As you can see, we are approaching the morgue. This is pretty bone chilling, the sight of this. Here we are entering the main prison. This is the main prison. And here are the inmate like jumpsuits or clothing that the inmates actually wore. This is where they all showered, I believe. They haven't given anything in the written boards over here, but these are definitely the showers basically. In the next video, which is part 2, we'll go through the prison cells and more about Al Capone and the 3 famous escapes of Alcatraz.